What's going on, guys? Kim with Provectus Outdoors. It's snowing here in Atlanta. It's actually the second time it has snowed this winter season, which is very much out of the ordinary. But it ended up being, I think, a perfect time to talk about this CF Moto UFORCE 1000 that I have. I've got a little over 60 miles on it. We purchased it a couple months ago. And now that I have some miles on it and actually had an opportunity to get out in dirt and do all that kind of stuff, and now in the snow and ice, I figured it was a good time to talk to you because I saved about $8,500 on this when compared to a similarly equipped Polaris Ranger. Let me show you real quick. So obviously you see it here. Beautiful, beautiful machine. I absolutely love the color. This color is gorgeous, and I haven't washed it or anything, but it comes with daytime running lights. The headlights are very, very good, and it has high beams, and they're LED, and they are very, very bright at nighttime. If you've owned a Polaris, or really, I shouldn't even really have to mention the brands. Really, with all the UTVs, the headlights are usually like, they suck, okay? And you're going to have to add some type of auxiliary lighting or something in the grill or above. With the CF Moto UFORCE 1000, you don't have to do that. These are like automotive grade headlights, and they work well. As we come down, you see the opening here, your radiator and all that stuff is going to be there. The reason why I want to talk about that is because when we purchased this, it was hot and very warm. Obviously it performed well, but it also matters, how does your radiator and cooling system perform in the winter? Because it could happen where as you're driving, you got so much cold air running through this radiator without a properly equipped and working radiator system or cooling system, you could make it to where the temperatures would be too low as far as your coolant is concerned, and then that can affect the drivability of the motor. A lot of times it can run a little bit richer and things like that. So what I was impressed with today, driving out in 20 degree temperatures consistently, doing 30 to 40 miles per hour, the coolant temperatures stayed right in the middle, just below, right in the middle, right where they need to be. That was something I was paying attention to. Coming down just a little bit more, we've got our, actually, let me do it this way. We've got the winch, okay? This winch is factory installed. People who've owned Polarises and Can-Ams, they know that this is an extra usually, okay? Below that, we have a hitch adapter, so you can put your 2.5-inch hitch there. That is absolutely amazing. This is definitely something that's also an add-on with the other brands. Taking a look up here at the roof, this is standard. This is usually an add-on with the other brands. Side view mirrors, this is standard. This is usually an add-on with other brands. Let's step on around, and I'm gonna miss a couple things. This is kind of an impromptu. I just got back from the store. Out in these streets with this side-by-side, and it performed very well. Coming inside, the seats are very, very nice, very comfortable. I'm 6'4", 6'5". They go back plenty. This is as far back as it goes, and I have no problems, as far as leg room, like my knees would be right here, but I don't feel uncomfortable. And especially you're talking 30-minute to an hour ride, stuff like that, that's important. The actual seat itself, plenty of cushion for long rides, all that good stuff. This is a 3-seater, and it's actually big enough for 3 adults. That's really nice. Seat belts for everybody all the way across. Right here in the center, got this little drop down armrest. I think this is a nice touch. Throw some stuff in here, and obviously your drinks. Coming on around, this is something that's definitely worth talking about. It comes with an emergency brake. If you've actually owned a utility side-by-side and you're actually using it to work and you haven't had an e-brake, we know how important this is, because you put your side-by-side in park, then it rolls back and you hear it engage that transmission. And then when you come back to put the side-by-side in drive, it's like, pow, makes this crazy clunking sound. It does not sound good at all. So I really, really appreciate that this has an e-brake. You've got your daytime running lights and high beam and low beam here. This switch controls your diff. This is 2-wheel drive, and you can lock the rear diff, then you can lock the front diff, have complete 4-wheel drive. Over here, park, reverse, neutral, high and low. Below that, we've got 3 spaces for accessories here. And then that's where you put your key. Let me show you the full digital dash. And you have two different dashes. I still haven't taken the plastic off, obviously. But this is what your dash looks like in normal mode. You've got about 67 miles on it. Everything is displayed there, your battery voltage, all that kind of good stuff. So this is normal mode, then you put it in work mode, and then you get a completely different dash, and it also changes the drivability or how the UTV drives. Really nice. You've got a 12-volt outlet here, two USBs there, cup holders up top, and storage. Let's go on the other side and show you the storage over there. So we come over here, you got another cup holder. This is the passenger side. This is your glove box. It actually locks really well, and it's very, very deep. Tons of space. Comes with a winch, and there's your winch controller. That's where I put mine. Plenty of storage underneath. So plenty of storage here and here. Nice open floor. It's waterproof. You know, if you get water and stuff on it, if you need to drain it, there's your plug for that. It does come with these like side restraints. They actually work very, very well. Let me show you underneath the seat, okay? Because people who've had side-by-sides, we all know that generally there's gonna be some storage under the seat, but I really like this because I didn't have to pay extra for this stuff. So right here underneath the center seat, there's your computer or ECU, engine control unit. I love that it's right here. It's fully enclosed, and it's going to be dry, and it's up high. So this should not get submerged in water. If your butt's getting wet, that's getting wet. Right here, absolutely love this. This is a case. It came standard. Open it up. Super huge, super cavernous. I had a 2-liter in there. I had a 4-inch vise for a drill press in here, a foot pedal for my drill press, and I had a bunch of bolts and nuts, you know, big assortments of that. This thing is huge. Let me give you like an idea. 20-ounce Coca-Cola next to it. It's fairly large, very large case. And it's standard. You're not paying any extra for it. And what I love about it is that's what it looks like underneath. What I love about it is you can, in the summertime, you can put some ice in there, throw your drinks in there, or beer, and have you a good time, man. But, you know, you got the family and everything, throw your sandwiches, you know, all your snacks and everything. It stays self-contained. You can hit the trail. It's staying, keeping all the dust and stuff out, and it's protected. And all you got to do is do that, and you're good to go. This seat does not adjust on the passenger side like it does on the driver's side. Let's move on. Automotive paint down the side of your dump bed. You see the wheels there. I just came from Harbor Freight, was out in these streets, had to get me a drill press. You see, this is a pretty large drill press, but you see I've got tons of bedroom still, okay? Coming around the back, this is something else that I really, really love. The tail lights. You've got tail lights, you've got brake lights, and you've got reverse lights. That's huge. Sometimes the tail lights and brake lights are kind of non-existent on some of them, but definitely the reverse lights you're not going to find on all of them. Let's talk about the tailgate. Usually on these tailgates, usually on these side-by-sides, even the 12 and 15 and $20,000 ones, the tailgate is usually garbage, meaning it's made out of plastic. It has very, very little metal reinforcement, and you can definitely tell. Usually the first place that you're going to tell is the actual touch point right here. When you pull on a tailgate, usually with all the other brands, you know immediately that it's cheap. You know immediately that it's probably going to break eventually, especially if you're using it. I can't tell you how many times I've been on Friends, Polaris, or Defender, and it doesn't work. You know, they got some other kind of weird way to get it to work properly. But this one, the handle feels heavy duty. It feels like it's actually going to stand up to the work that this is designed to do. Secondly, when this latches right here, it actually, I want you to listen. It actually sounds solid. You get a nice solid thud. You can also hear it latch on both sides, and it gives you confidence that, hey, whatever I put back here is going to stay back here, whether I'm going uphill, downhill, accelerating fast, all that kind of stuff. Like I just drove in the streets and I had this back here. You got $200-something, machine, and I don't need it falling off on the side of the road, and don't figure it out till I get home. Lastly, back here, we've got a tow hitch already there, which is really, really nice. Can't remember what the tow rating is. I'll put it in. I think it's like $1,500 or $2,500, somewhere in between there. If you're somebody that's looking to get a side-by-side, a utility side-by-side especially, but even if you're somebody that's kind of on the fence, like, I don't know if I want to go with the racing ones or the utility, all I ask, do yourself a favor. Before you buy any of the other brands, you have to look at this first. It's the CF Moto UFORCE 1000. Please look at it. I've owned Polaris Rangers, Razors, Can-Am Defenders, and Can-Am X3. And literally, I was only going to stick with those. I bought a Can-Am X3 last. And when I was looking to buy that, I did look at the CF Motos. This was several years ago, and I didn't feel comfortable with the quality and the reputation of CF Moto at the time. Now, they've caught up to the competition and surpassed the competition. Again, I saved approximately $8,500 by going with this, with the CF Moto UFORCE 1000 versus a Polaris Ranger. It's like easy to see in black and white. You know, when you're talking $8,500, you're talking a couple $100, you know, $150 to a couple $100 in payment every month. That's a thing, you know? So do yourself a favor, look at the CF Moto, go and drive it. I got mine at Extreme Power Sports in Opelika, Alabama. They're very good people. If you want to get more information on who you need to speak to when you get down there, send me an email, info@provectusgroup.org. Guys, I'm Ken with Provectus Outdoors. I hope you enjoyed this. Please go check it out. It's a legit machine, and I'm so glad that I went with it. Every time I crank it up, every time I paid a payment, I'm like, I'm so glad I went with this one instead of the others. Love you guys. Peace.